Yes, it's Talk the Tings, and of course, I'm going to talk about the Diddy verdict. So, 30 days of trial and deliberation. I think it was 3 days for the jury to deliberate. And yeah, he got not guilty on racketeering and not guilty on trafficking, but guilty on transportation for prostitution purposes. Now, let's do a little bit of a recap. We have to understand some of the terms to understand why this case got to this place. So racketeering, for example, is, talking about fraudulent crime kind of group, syndicate kind of activity, with the idea of consistently engaging in these things to make a profit. I think that was the element, the make a profit piece. Hold that. So there are types of racketeering. Extortion is one and bribery is one. So in terms of extortion, I think the case was being made when Cassie's mom was on the stand and talking about how she was forced, coerced by candidate for not, he wanted her to pay so that he would not release the tapes of Cassie. And I think she did pay. She did pay about 20K. And then she said later on it was returned to her. But she, I guess, took out a second mortgage to do this. So I thought, oh, there's the extortion piece that they're trying to go for. The other piece is around bribery. Now, that was a little bit more nuanced because, usually when people, get sex trafficked, sometimes it is from people posing as their boyfriends. Or girlfriends. This could happen to men as well. And so the relationship that comes into sex trafficking causes people to make decisions where they feel that they were forced, or in some cases in the RICO charges, it's around bribery. So the idea that the lifestyle and so on that, Cassie was privy to may have been a part of that conversation for the prosecution. And so, those elements are things that I would say definitely brings them to this point to come to a 30-day trial, because yes, you want to explore what else is happening there. What I think is being lost, though, is I'm seeing weird reactions online, and I'm taking note of people who are jumping up and so on. Only in celebrity cases in America, in North America, do people hear that somebody is found guilty for some things and not guilty for other things and think it's a slam dunk and a win. He still faces charges. So the charges that he has now is around transportation for prostitution. And in case you didn't hear, he has been held. He is not getting bail. His team offered $1 million as a number for bail, and it was denied because he is in breach of the Mann Act, MANN. He's in breach of the Mann Act because he transported persons, including his girlfriend, including other prostitutes, male dancers, for the purpose of prostitution across state lines. This means he is a danger. So they're holding him until sentencing, and sentencing looks like August or later. So I don't understand how you're jumping up, right? Because each of those counts could get him 10 years, which means a max of 20 years. Now, here's the thing. You and I know he is a great lawyer. This lawyer has beat RICO charges before. That is why the RICO piece got knocked out. Good lawyer. But, and he's also a celeb and he has money. So obviously, I don't anticipate him serving anywhere near the max. The prosecution says they're going to ask for the max, but you can ask for all the things. You don't mean you get it. So I don't expect that he will serve anywhere near that. I'm sure there'll be all kinds of conversations about probation and so on. But the point is, you guys are forgetting how we got here. I don't know if you remember the raids to his home. Do you remember what they found? They found multiple rifles, assault rifles. They found, of course, the baby oil, which, Lord, don't get me started on the embarrassing people outside the courthouse. They found the baby oil, but they also found videotapes. So the conversation here is coercion. Were these guns used to coerce? What were they used for? Right? What was the purpose of these tapes? Because maybe there is an angle for profit. I think that was the biggest hit. Was he committing the crime just by himself? Because if he's committing the crime just by himself, to himself, with himself, and using these people as pawns, did you prove that there was, a real movement towards making a profit? Cannot prove that, and that is why it fell apart. But I don't think you guys should be jumping up and down either, because you got to remember how we got here. And any of you who forget that assault tape where he beat Cassie to a pulp, if you forget that, who are you? So yes, he is not guilty on the big charges that would have put him away for life, but he is guilty on other counts. And in the court of public opinion and on taught the things, he's guilty of a lot of things.